Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening. Today we are going to discuss Genesys Cloud CX professional certifications, question and answers part 3. In the part 3, we are going to discuss from 20 questions 21 to 30. So altogether 10 questions we are going to discuss. Let's dive in. The question, which of the following is a key difference between sequence and a schedule in Architect? So basically, the schedule means the time of operation in contact center. So you can create any schedule and specify the hours of operation, and then this particular schedule can be used in architect flow, or you can use it in call routing where you can configure it. Based on that, your call flow operation will be takes place. And the sequences which is related to uh, the prompts playing. If you going to use a prompt more than one prompt, then you can configure it in a sequence so that the prompt will be played in a order. So if there is a group of prompts need to play in the architect, like after hours treatment or business hour treatment, holiday or emergencies, there are many scenario you can play the prompts. At that time you can use a sequence logic to construct your prompts. So here, let me clarify this no logic. Here is a hint. One is a time frame, the other is a order list. Yeah. So time and the order list. So, so my understanding is answer A. Schedules define the time date. Sequences determine which flow to run if multiple schedules overlap. So this is the answer, correct answer. The remaining and all not the correct answer. Sequences are only used for outbound dialing. No, there is no difference. The terms are interchangeable. Schedules are for holidays, sequence are for work hours. So these are all not the correct answer. Let me move on to the next one. In a hybrid Genesys Cloud implementation using bring your own carrier premises, which port is typically used for SIP signaling? Session initiation protocol, that is we used to call SIP signaling between the edge and the local carrier gateway. So basically edge, um, part of Genesys Cloud, which will connect to the local carrier gateway. In this scenario, we need to have a port. So my understanding, this is a 5060 UDP TCP. So UDP protocol and TCP protocol both have to support it in the contact center. So that's why this is the correct answer. The remaining port and all not the correct one. Let me move on to the next one. What does AHT stand for in contact center metrics? This one AHT we have already seen it, like average handle time. So average handle time includes talk time, hold time, and after call work wrap up. So everything inclusive of average handle time. So for an example, one queue will have a multiple members configured in it. So if you go and view the queue activity report, so you can see all these metrics, average handle time, so number of agents they could have done the interaction. So based on their interactions along with these parameters, so the metrics can be derived in the reporting part. So that's why the average handle time is important. Let me move on to the next one. Which component manages the recording and storage of interaction in a Genesys Cloud environment? My understanding, the Edge media tier for recording, AWS S3 for long-term storage. Let me check the hint. Think about the media path and cloud scalability. So let me log this answer. A is the correct answer. The Edge processes the audio for recording and the resulting files are stored in the cloud AWS S3 based on retention policies. So in the policies in Genesys Cloud admin part, there is a policies for recordings. We can go and create a policy for the particular division or queue based. So whatever the call comes to particular queue, so those call interaction can be recorded and retained for how long? Retained for a month or 3 months. So how long you want to retain it? Those kind of configuration we can create it in the policies by creating a policy in Genesys Cloud. So that will ensure the recording part. If you don't want to record the call, you can even configure those configuration as well. So remaining three and all not a correct answer. Let me move on to the so one. What is the purpose of an interaction view in Genesys Cloud performance dashboards? Let me check. To see a list of historical interaction, filter them, and access the recordings evaluation. This is the correct answer. So the interaction view is the primary tool for supervisors to audit past calls, messages, and emails. So supervisor basically they will go and view the interaction view, particular queue or particular IVR. So they can filter all the interaction and they can able to verify it how the performance happen on those interactions. So that's why it is very useful in Genesys Cloud dashboards, performance dashboards. Let me move on to the next one. In Architect, if you want to play a greeting that says hello customer name, where customer name is retrieved from a variable, which feature are you using? Yeah, for that, definitely it is going to be text to speech, TTS, with dynamic variables. TTS allows the system to read aloud the contents of a variable dynamically during the flow. So when we are going to use text to speech, there we can put our message along with variables. If a customer name is we captured from variable, that variable can be read it along with the text. So there is an option already in the architect while constructing the prompt. We have option text to speech. There we can achieve this future. So the remaining and all not a static prompt is a different one. External group is not related to this part. Wrap up code is after the interaction done. We used to uh, provide the log information. For that we used to select the wrap up code and then disconnect the call. So this one we have already seen it. Let me move on to the next one. Which of the following is a mandatory step when setting up your new ACD queue? Let me check. Think about who will answer the call. Correct. So, assigning at least one member or group to the queue. So, this is the correct answer. Let me check other three also. Recording a new system prompt for every menu. Not, not this one. Configuring a physical phone for the queue itself. Not this one. Purchasing a separate license for each queue. Not this one. So, answer is D. A queue must have agents assigned to it to handle the interactions. Otherwise, it serves no purpose. Correct. If the queue is already created, then there should be at least one agent should be assigned. Otherwise, what is the point of having queue? If the call comes, it is going to wait forever. No one is going to answer it. Then there is no use. So let me move on to the next one. What happens if an agent's status is set to away? Yeah, good question. Um, they are considered off queue and will not be offered ACD interaction. Seems to be a good one. The system redirects their calls to their personal mobile phone. Not this one. They are automatically logged out after 5 minutes. Not this one. They will continue to receive ACD calls. No. So if there is a agent status is away, then they won't get a call. Let me log this answer. Yeah, statuses like away, busy, or mail signify the agent is not available for work. So that means the call will be waiting in the queue, in queue flow, and it will play the in queue treatment to the customer. So um, no agent will answer this call. Once they available in queue, then only they will get the call. They can able to answer the call. They will get the alert. So away is not a answerable status. Let me move on to the next one. In the Edge group configuration, what is the purpose of the media relay setting? To enable communication between edges in different sites for media handling. This is the correct one. The first one is to record calls. No. To play music on hold. No. To translate languages in real time. No. Grouping edges helps them work together. Correct. So let me lock this answer. Edge groups allow edges to pool resources and provide redundancy media path automation between different physical location. Correct. If there is any one site, basically edge will have a more than one edge. Edge will be in the groups. It allow edges to pool resources. Multiple sites will be configured with the edge, so that if any of the site is um, down, which is not working, then immediately to look for the different physical location, different sites. So the call will be rerouted to the the up and running physical locations, so that the business process will not be interrupted at any time. So that's the reason. Let me move on to the next one. The supervisor wants to see how many agents are currently on queue across the entire contact center in real time. Which view is most appropriate? Yeah, for that one, as I said earlier, queue activity view. The queue's activity view provides real-time data on agent count, wait times, and active interaction per queue. So everything in this queue activity view reporting part will be shown in interaction dashboard. There we can able to view all this information under the queue activity view. So remaining three is not the correct answer. The correct answer we have already locked. So that's all about part three discussion. We have done the 30th questions discussion. So all of you, all the best for your test. Keep reading. I will post the next part 31 to 40. So kindly check and subscribe my channel for future videos. It will be helpful to new newcomers like new developers and even experienced developers whoever want to take exam. They can make use of it with these videos. Thanks for understanding.